This is Radio Demerara, the voice of Guyana, broadcasting on major wave on 760 kHz and then the short wave on the 49 and the 90 meter bands. That was the message you used to hear early in the morning with our great Eshri Singh. Eshri Singh has been at Radio Demerara for 37 years. And not only Radio Demerara, you heard him on CBC Radio in Barbados, 610 Radio in Trinidad and Tobago, WIBS in the islands, JBC in Jamaica, and in New York, WGBB Radio, WLIB, WTNR, and many more. In fact, when he was in India, he was on All India Radio. So Eshri Singh is more than broadcasting. He's an icon indeed. Now, at the age of 12, getting ready to go to school the next day, I would hear him doing the program Indian Melodies. And he would say, "This is Radio Demerara, the voice of Guyana. Stand by now for Indian Melodies." And he would continue. Indian Melodies came away with the compliments of Indie Special Madras Curry Powder, Chico Sweets and Chico Bubblegum. And I would, 12 years of age, I'm taken back. I said, wow, Chico Sweets and Chico Bubblegum. My mouth started watering, man. And I'm hearing this thing all the time with his beautiful voice. Now this voice is a most melodious voice you can think of. Beautiful. It had a kind of baritone effect in it. But generally, the voice was the voice of Guyana, Radio Demerara. And I was thinking, this guy can't be really human. God really made somebody very special. And I wish one day I could probably meet with him. I sent him a note, but my writing was kind of bad, I think. I didn't hear back from him. And after many years, I got a job too at the radio station in 1977. I got a job at the Ghana Broadcasting Service, GBS. And there, as a little rookie, the station had a little policy which I couldn't understand. They believed that if you're an East Indian, that you can do Indian programs. So they handed me Sangeet Mala and Gems of India. Hey, I had to seek teaching from somebody. And I spoke with Balwan R. Singh, Ayub Hamid, Sunny Muhammad, and then my icon, Eshri Singh. And they taught me very well. In fact, I've been with the radio station for almost 10 years. I did all kinds of programs. And Eshri and I, we used to interact. And he also had some followers and people he and I, we both like James Sidney, like Phyllis Jackson, Angel Messiah, like Margaret Lawrence, just to name a few, Ray Robinson, Carlton James. And there was a program he used to do on a Saturday called Hits from India. And I used to pay attention because I'm in a learning curve. And I'm hearing Hits from India, your Saturday program coming to you, the compliments of all the Pictures, Guyana Limited, and Sterling Products Limited, manufacturers of golden cream margarine and home detergents. And listen to this, when the question is health, Marmite is the answer. I don't think so. If you use Marmite, your blood pressure will go up and sometimes you might end up right here. So no. So over the years, I've been listening to him. But I want to tell you one story before I wrap things up. This story I think you will enjoy it. Just before COVID, I was at Liberty Avenue, a place called Prasad's Hardware, BP Prasad. And as I walked in, I saw Mr. Eshri Singh sitting comfortably, relaxed on a chair, in a chair. And there's nobody else in the store except the proprietor, Mr. Prasad. So after he recognized me, he said, "Hey man, how are you? My brother man, how are you? How's your charming wife, Asima?" Before I could have answered him, he said, "Man, let's do some cricket commentaries." Well, I'm game. I love that kind of thing because he's very wise sometimes, don't look at the age. We call each other by first name, and I'm sure he could have been my dad. And I said, "All right." He said, "Well, I'll be in the studio now today, and all of a sudden you'll be in the cricket field and you'll take over the commentary." In the meantime, Mr. Prasad giggling because now we have two commentators and one listener. Never really happened in our field of broadcasting. So he said, "This is Radio Damarara, the voice of Guyana. Hurry down to Kirpalanis Limited, the gift shop, the white shop of 16A Water Street. Kirpalanis Limited time, 2 o'clock. This time it was what, 5 o'clock? It's at 2 o'clock. Stand by for cricket commentaries in the first test match between the West Indies and India being played at the Queen's Park Oval. This commentary comes to you with the compliments of the paysetters Banks DIH Limited, bottlers and blenders of XM the Budhrams. XM, extra mellow, extra mature. XM and Banks beer. Banks, a beauty, a bigger, Banks beer. Wow! It's an overtime commentator, so that's it. I couldn't do the commentary anymore because the introductions was too long. So I'd like to say now, on behalf of my wife and my family and members of the Guyana Broadcasting Corporation, though I'm not a sportsman, but since I'm one of the officials here in my local and a private capacity, I'd like to wish and say to Tanuja, Harish, Finish, and the rest of the Saints family, Fishy, that we are saddened to have learned the death of your dad. And before I actually go, I'd like to talk to Mr. Eshri for a while. Mr. Eshri, you're embarking on a journey to somewhere else, a new home, a new apartment. And I guess you probably will be meeting new friends. You probably will be meeting with some of your relatives, including your former wife, and probably some friends at the GBC. But I'm sure you will entertain them the way you entertained us at the broadcasting house. But one thing I will ask you, don't forget this, please. Remember the station identification. This is Radio Damarara, the voice of Guyana.